Hey guys, today I want to talk about making mistakes. We all make mistakes, lots of them, all the time. I make more mistakes than I can even fathom, right? But one of the things that I decided to do when I was really little was to try to learn from other people's mistakes and to try to avoid that. You know, if you see a lot of people engage in a particular behavior and it tends to not work out very well, the idea is maybe don't make that decision. Maybe don't follow in that behavior. We talked a little bit about like my parents and sort of the drugs and alcohol and the things like that happened, that I was around a lot when I was a kid. And so I was surrounded with examples of what not to do a lot. I also had examples of what to do with some other family members, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, different people like that. And so when I was a little kid, I thought of these things in very simple terms, right? And I thought of it like baseball. I'm a lover of baseball. Maybe do another videos that refer to baseball, but love baseball. And I lived for a period of time when I was a little kid across the street from a baseball field. And this is the way I thought about mistakes. I thought, okay, if I'm in a line of people and that line of people is walking behind the fence on the baseball field, and every time this line passes the scoreboard, a ball comes over and hits the person in the head and knocks them out. And the bodies are just piling up over there. And I'm standing in the line and everyone keeps going in that direction. And every time a ball comes over and hits, and maybe occasionally one person sneaks through and doesn't get hit in the head, am I going to stay in that line on the off chance that I'm going to be the one that doesn't get hit in the head with a baseball? Or am I going to realize, there's actually a completely different way to get around to the other side of the field? I'll just walk back the other direction. And maybe it'll take longer, but I'll get there and I reduce the risk of being hit in the head with a baseball. So that was my childlike way of looking at making mistakes. And the idea would be to learn from other people. And then when I was in my 20s, I was working on an ambulance, and you work with your partner all the time. You're sitting on street corners with your partner for hours, and you talk about all manner of things. And I was working with my partner, Mark, and I was complaining at the time because I had a girlfriend in my early 20s, and she kept making a lot of really bad choices. And I would say, why are you making all these? She goes, some people just have to learn for themselves. And I remember saying, that's just stupid. Like, all you have to do is look at all the other people making the decision that leads to something bad, and that's how you learn, right? Wouldn't you prefer to do that rather than the other way? And my partner, Mark, was listening to this and he goes, well, Aaron, smart people learn from their mistakes. Brilliant people learn from other people's mistakes. And I was like, that's a great saying, man. I'm going to hold on to that. And I've held on to that for well over 20 years. And it's something that I try and teach people is smart people learn from their mistakes. Brilliant people learn from other people's mistakes. So you're going to make mistakes in your life. That's absolutely the case. But it's a lot better if you can learn from other people who have made those mistakes before you. This is also one of the reasons why when people are pursuing careers in a particular area, one of my recommendations is to go do informational interviews with people and to talk to people who have been in that job for a long time. This is something I did early when I was leaving emergency medical services to go into health policy, was I did informational interviews with people and I talked to them about what I was looking to do. And I would ask them deep questions. One of which was, what were the biggest mistakes you've ever made in your career? Why were they mistakes? And how would you do it differently if you can go back and do it again? And so I highly recommend that whether or not you're not looking at career transition, you just learn from other people's mistakes. And if you are looking at career transition or go into a particular career, talk to people who are in that career and find out what mistakes they made and don't make them.